Moving statues. Statues started moving in Ireland in the 80s. It was in the newspapers. They were moving. And not just the Avenue, it was on the news. It was a nationwide phenomenon. It was bigger than Ronald Reagan in Ballyporeen and his giant helicopter chopping in the sky. And the loudspeakers hanging on wooden rafters with galvanised roofs announcing, "The President of the United States of America." This time it was bigger. It was moving statues. Statues started moving in Ireland in the 80s. My mum was interested. It captured her imagination. She had, after all, been educated to believe that unbaptized children would carry a black soul and spend their unbaptized life in an eternity in hell. So it seemed plausible, right? Moving statues. Statues started moving in Ireland in the 80s. Load up the boot with sandwiches and blankets and a flask of tea. This was ripe for a Sunday spin. Mother was the commandant of those summer, windy country road expeditions. Normally on Sunday we'd be off to visit old Aunt Dolly in hospital. Lovely and frail she was, with her immaculate white hair and her exotic bright red lipstick and an English accent. A loyal servant to the crown from a tiny rural Irish town. And although the smell of the old hospital elevators was divine, and when the creaky iron grates of the elevator closed off our view to old Aunt Dolly's hospital ward, which meant we could go down to the gardens and play under the big tree. But not this Sunday. We were off to see moving statues. Statues started moving in Ireland in the 80s. Maybe it was just a bit of fun. Because years later, when Mum was going on about the black souls and my own son's imminent eternity in hell, I questioned her. And I said, "Mum, do you really believe that?" And she said, "Well, that's what we were told." And then she paused, and I held my gaze. And then she laughed at the absurdity of it all. So maybe it was just a bit of fun. Moving statues. Statues started moving in Ireland in the 80s. So off we set through Rathcormac, where we stopped for a big ice cream cone. Not our usual sweet shop stop. Was it Lumbards down the town? Or Cahill's or Toomey's? Where we stared up at big glass jars of clove rocks and pear drops and jelly teeth that the lady had to shake apart to drop into the silver weighing scales. Clack, 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 as they fell. A little bag of 10-penny sweets each. Statues started moving in Ireland in the 80s. This time we were going the other way, through Watergrass Hill and past the Skoda truck yard, with all those giant brand new trucks in perfect lines, enormous toys that someone had just taken out of their cardboard boxes. And our little red Ford Fiesta, registration plate 444 CPI, cruised on by. On through the country back roads, my dad at the wheel and Mam by his side. And 3 grand little lads bouncing around in the back of the car. Here it comes, the bump, up and down again. Everyone laughing with their belly in their heads. When we got to Ballinspittle, we didn't see the statues moving. Although we tried, I concentrated and looked as hard as I could. They say one statue stretched a finger, another moved her head. The Virgin Mary was doing the boogie woogie somewhere in West Cork. And the sun set, and that was our day. And then off we went in our little red Ford Fiesta. Mam and Dad and their 3 grand little lads. Our own little flock. And on the drive home, the sun and the clouds played their late evening tune. And we said, a red sky at night, a shepherd's delight. And my mother sucked contentedly on another Murray mint.